Hey, good day, everyone. Good day, everyone. Good day. It's nice. It's a nice sunny Thursday. It's a nice. No, matter of fact, my bad. My bad. It's a nice sunny Friday. Nice sunny Friday. I believe it's Friday the 13th to be exact. I'm out here in the short points of New Jersey, Mr. Latino with Opinions, LWO. Uh, I'm on my way to a job meeting to attend to, you know, to go listen to whatever, whatever standards they want us to go by at the job. You know, with valet service and all. It's been a lot going on, everyone. A lot going on in the community. A lot going on in the United States. You know, everywhere. Everywhere there's an uproar. There's an uproar with immigration, especially out in the West Coast. To all my Latinos in the West Coast, you know, I big yous up, I shout yous out. I send my love to all of yous who's out there on the front lines and on the back lines. Any which part that you play as a Latino in the United States, I support you. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with our people, especially, with this man as being chief of staff, uh, the big man in the chair up there in the White House. A lot of things gotta change. A lot of things gotta change. And it's not going to change. Sometimes, everybody, sometimes you could try to bring as peaceful parties as much as you want. Sometimes it's not going to be enough. Sometimes you got to make noise. You got to make noise, and you got to stick with your guns. Sometimes it's gonna cost some sacrifice in it, though. A lot of sacrifices, and maybe even your bodies. Sometimes your body be the final cause of the sacrifice. You know, when it comes to fighting and rioting, and everything that comes with it. It comes with the territory, but that's the only way things change, man. You got to be in it to win it. I'm sorry to say, we try to do things peacefully. We always try to do things peacefully, and sometimes we just get smacked in the face. So we got to take it to the next level, you know. And I don't promote it, you know. I don't promote it, but I don't stand down on it either, you know. I don't, you know. Sometimes, me back in my times or wherever I did, sometimes that was the first, the second, and the third option was, to go at it, to go at my opponent. But there's something going on in the air. This is going on everywhere. You know, we got that situation. Yesterday, even at the Jersey Shore. At the Pier Village, at the boardwalks, the beaches. They get kind of rowdy already. Already rowdy. Not too long, it was just on the news up in Seaside Heights. Up in the news, and now here we are, a week or two later over here in Long Branch again, just like a few years ago, just like last year before, but now supposedly, allegedly, You know, they said it was gunshots. It was on the news. It was gunshots, and you know, people were all over the place. And then, you know, supposedly, you know, somebody was found dead. I don't know how. I don't know what was the cause of death, because I work in that area, and you know, what made me come back right after church, I was at church Bible study, and I decided to come back at the job, so I had to shoot back to that area to pick up left my coffee mug over there, you know, and I can't leave my coffee mug. I already lost the coffee mug, you know, quite a few times. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to hear my lady's mouth about this, you know. You know, I don't want her to have one up on me like that over no coffee mug. So I said, you know, I know where it's at. It haven't been a whole day, you know. We out here in the area, so let me go stop by. What was that for? Right at the time everything was going down, we was dead. We was dead. We seen police flying on foot, flying in the cars, flying however they could fly. If they was coming on an aircraft, they would have done it, you know. But they was dead, and you know, shit was bananas, man, bananas. Shit was bananas. Things are going on everywhere, man, and you know, I'm just, you know, you gotta you gotta stay firm, man, and you gotta stay safe and stay firm. You know, stick with your faith, man. Your faith, and stick with your religious beliefs on a positive note. You know, knowing that God is only one true God, and you know, work your faith, man. Work your faith and work everything that needs to be worked, because it is needed right now. It is needed. You know, we have positive We have positive Christian brothers, pastors, and everything up in the White House that's close to the family. Matter of fact, is my wife's cousin, first cousin. You know, he's doing a lot of big things. He's over there fighting for everyone. You know, for the Latino community and for the Christian community and for every community. He is over there. You know, his name is Dr. Gabriel Salguero. Big shout out to Gabriel Salguero. He's a good brother. You know, I was just in a few events with him, and I was just, you know, I was at his church also in Orlando, Florida. You know, his mother is Raquel Salguero. She's a pastor too. She's the founder of Vita City Church in Lakewood, New Jersey. Her and her husband, Pastor Salguero, who has retired, you know, gave it to his other son. Uh, but you know, they out there doing big things for the community also. Big things, big things. You know, they've been doing, and they've been doing it. It's not 5 years, 3 years. They've been decades, like let's say 3 decades at least 3 decades that I could come up with, maybe, but I believe it's more, maybe 40 years, you know, maybe 45 years at that, you know. But it's a lot going on, man, you know, and believe it or not, we could all help out, man, be part of the solution, man. All of us could be part of the solution, man, just by spreading the news, spreading the gossip, looking out for one another, you know, looking out for one another, and just try to do positive stuff. Just by trying to do positive stuff, you can be part of the solution. That's it, you know. That's it. If you think you gotta go, get in the books and it's gonna be some rocket scientist stuff that you gotta participate in, no, it's not that. It's not that. It's real simple. It's real simple, man. You know, all I do, like myself, man. I help out a lot by not being a negative influence in my community like I used to be. Just another person they used to have to worry about. You know, worrying about what carrying a gun on me or polluting their streets. Or walking around looking all crazy and look, I'm about to victimize someone. Man, we don't need that no more. Especially they don't need another one like myself. Especially another Spanish dude because that's all we categorize, man. I was listening to a lot of stuff going on in New York. Especially on YouTube, a lot of people going at each other. And they took it back to the gang stuff. They took it back to the gang stuff. They took it back to the race and the gang stuff. Yeah, and I'm saying amongst the blacks and the Puerto Ricans, they took it back to that. They took it back to the Bloods and the Kings, Latin Kings. They took it back to the Neanderthals. They took it back to whoever they could take it back to, but they brought it back. Just something that was supposed to be shut down. And that's it. Let history be history. You know, just because but someone people I understand people want to make cloud and get on the internet and get some ad time on social media and whatever, man. If that's the way of making a come up and putting money in your pocket, you know, whatever you thought of, man. All right, so be it. But just you didn't think about the repercussion that's going to cause again. It's going to cause. You didn't think about that. You didn't think about everything that's about to happen again. You know, and then for those who wasn't a part of it, well, now they're going to end up experiencing it. You know, all because of war stories, trading war stories, like Tupac, like an old Tupac song, trade war stories. You know, I get it, man. I was a part of all the fling flang that was going on too, and the running around and going at each other, and don't do that, man. Listen, a lot of that history, I was running around in the mid '90s, reflecting on a lot of stuff too. But you know what? That ain't nothing to be glorified. I don't even want to get into it. I don't even want to get into it. Everyone had their run. Put it like that. Everyone had their run. Everyone had their run. Everyone had their losses, man. Listen, we all win battles, man. We all lose battles, man. You know. And it was a motto, man, and it said the kings win wars. You know. But we can't go on that. We can't go off that because everyone they listen. There was, they know a lot of shit. But listen, we went through a lot of stuff, man, and we suffered a lot and we lost a lot, you know. But to be on YouTube now and glorifying shit and this and that, nah, man, that's too much. It's too much. too much. A lot of disrespect, a lot of shit. You know, I put some I was listening to a little bit, and I was like, you know what, I gotta cut this off because it was already making me feel some type of way. You know, and not for because of it's just it was because of the way things were said. You know, the way things are said, and other people aspect. But you know what? That's how life is, though. You know, everybody look at stuff in different ways, in different lenses, You know, a lot of stuff is comprehended different in different lenses. You know, it's the same thing like seeing a fight, a UFC fight, and an MMA fight in a cage, and the way two people brawling and fighting, and one guy come up on top as the winner, and everybody seen that guy dogged the other guy out, and they said, man, but nah, we know who really won that fight. Nah, who really won that fight is the one who won. You know, because that's the way the rules are played. You know, the one who won the fight is the one who won the fight, not the one the one that beat the hell out the other one. Then this one just ended up still winning the fight because he just ended up putting you on the move and tapped you out or choked you out, even though you beat his eyeballs out and everything like that. You know, yeah, we all know that, but the one who won the fight is the one who won the fight. You know, no matter what happened. You know? So, you know, that's because that's the way, you know, everybody's lenses and their eyes, they see things different. They see things differently, you know. So, and that's the way it is, especially when we're dealing with tribal wars. Race wars are called tribal wars. That's what we call them, tribal wars. We say race because they black and Hispanic and all that, but in all reality, we all the same people, man. We all the same people. And one way or another, we all got a little bit of different bloods in us, different, you know, DNA, but we all got a tap of the same stuff in us. And we all humans, man. We all the same, you know. So I guess when one matures already, when one matures and he's on a different level, you know, everyone ain't gonna be on that level. Everyone ain't mature, you know. Because I wasn't always this way, and I didn't always think like this either, you know. And everyone ain't on the same time. Everyone ain't on the same time, you know. People who's on jail time and, and don't got nothing to look forward to, and they miserable, you know. I'm sure they will enjoy the recreation and the chasing each other and looking for each other and, you know, trying to make a name for yourself and make history, but, you know, everyone ain't off that, you know. A lot of people don't make it back from that. A lot of people die, you know. And I know if you don't got life and you have a possibility of being back on the street, you don't want to blow that. You don't want to lose that. So you always want to keep the hope alive, you know. But there's a lot of nonsense going on YouTube talk, and YouTube podcasts. I'm glad I'm on a different mindset. You know, and, I got God by my side now. I'm into something different. And I want different. Not only for me, but for others. I want everyone to feel the way that I feel. Just everybody be mindful, man. Just be mindful, pay attention. And on that note, man, enjoy the weather out there, man. Remember what I say, man. Keep God first. And the moment that you wake up in the morning, man, keep God first on your mind. Give him the glory. Give him the glory first and the acknowledgement before you get on with your day. God bless everyone. This is Mr. LWO, Latino with Opinions. For everyone that's been tuning in and listening on my spills, I appreciate it. I'm trying to get on the bigger and better things. Maybe sooner than later, I'll be able to do something visual, and be on a better, do something a little bit more professional than this audio stuff. All right, I get with you guys. Until the next time, I'm out.